A wonderful, wacky Wednesday to all of you fabulous folk out there, and welcome to another soul-stirring installment of fan fictions, as performed by we, the hosts of the Disinformed Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm John.
I'm Michael.
I'm Courtney.
And just when you thought we couldn't get any crazier, the madness gets deeper.
Ooh.
Only if you want it to.
Insaner. Lover.
Those are words. Yep, sure.
Checks out.
So, for those of you who caught the first installment of this marvelous little series, thank you. We appreciated you being here, and we hope that it was as fun for you as it is for us. But if this is your first foray into this strange little bedroom farce, otherwise known as Crazy Stupid Insane Love, you're going to need to want to go back, because we have Chapter 1 that preceded this. But I should state, for those uninitiated amongst you, we have a weekly podcast that flees from your preferred podcast provider app every Monday morning called the Disinformed Podcast. We talk about random esoteric nonsense and we lie about it. It's a lot of fun. We are also here on the tubes of you multiple times a week, so there are slews of content for you to be able to indulge in at a whim, at a moment's notice.
Yes.
Indeed. So, as we are starting, we have done previous fan fictions. There will be links to all of those things in the notes below. And if you're checking down there while you're roosting around, while you're searching for sloppers, you could do a couple things. Michael has instructions for you.
The sloppers got me. As they always do. You can smash that like button. You can ring that bell.
Indeed. And John, is there something you would like to discuss with the listeners out there, with our audience?
Yeah. Guys and gal, raise your hands or hand if you've ever been paid or been wanting to be. No, are you, any of you professional voice actors? Oh, Shane, how white you have become.
His hands are cold like death.
We are.
Hand had to grow to stay in proportion with what it works with.
I'm a normal-sized human.
Indeed.
I'm just a regular human wing. Yeah, we are not professional voice actors. I mean, Shane, you actually have been paid for your lovely, lovely voice, PBS. Mwah. And other accolades. I just can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, long story short, too late. We do cold reads. Michael has diligently put together these scripts from actual fanfics. And we just try our best to stumble through them. And Shane is always our anchor. This is the third one in a row where I feel like he is just he's the meat and potatoes, or meat ramen. Or the meat substitute in potatoes if you're a vegetarian.
I like that this started out as more sort of like indemnification for you having strange voices, and now it has just become butter me up for a minute before we start, just so I don't have like a panic attack or get, screaming angry at everybody, which is grand.
We have to remind you constantly that we love you and tell you that we desperately need you.
You've been talking to some of my former bandmates.
Please stay.
I am one of your former.
Your current bandmates, different.
Wait a minute.
All right. So, preambles aside, if you're enjoying what you hear, stick around. Do the subscription thing. And give us some comments, for heaven's sakes. Tell us what you would like to hear from us in the future. But, without further ado, or delay, or ado, or any other things that you want to say.
Or a don't.
Or a don't.
Or Adele. This is Scene 2 of Crazy, Stupid, Insane Love. The clerk came back with the girl's room key, and she collected her bags and went toward the elevator, giving him a small wave as she went. He felt a little bad. She was a nice girl. Cute, too. Rrr. It was a shame his cultists would kill her in her sleep that night. Oh well, that's what you get for not knowing the mythos well enough. and for carrying those sloppers. Oh well.
It's actually written.
See, quality content. Oh well. That's what you get for not knowing the mythos well enough. He approached the counter and muttered in his own tongue that code to let the attendant know who he was. After obtaining the key to his suite, he went back outside to gather his things and properly park his bike, as opposed to placing it betwixt her butt cheeks.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He had to hand it to the humans. They built some pretty rad shit. His bike, lovingly named Ryla, was one of his most prized possessions, right after this Xbox. Thulu had fallen in love with human games, and most likely owned every system known to man. Most of the games, too. He had even played all the games made about him, too. He surprisingly enjoyed the cartoony Thulu Saves the World, though he would never do it himself. Saving the world and beating the shit out of Dagon and Azzy was actually pretty fun. He had even toyed with the idea of trying to find an alternate reality in which such a heroic snarky Thulu was running around with 2 hot babes, taking a sword. I had a Michael!
Whoa!
Stop it! Kill it before
It's spreading. Damn it.
Though he would never do it himself, saving the world and beating the shit out of Dagon and Azzy was actually pretty fun. He had even toyed with the idea of trying to find an alternate reality in which such a heroic, snarky Thulu was running around with 2 hot babes, a talking sword, a wizard, an alien vat, and a dragon. At least, until Hasta told him that even if he did find a world like that, the good Cthulhu would probably be obligated by some hero code to battle the evil one. He had also played some other game about elder gods, but he remembered from one... No. Whew. I had given this thing a modicum of credit previously for being slightly better written than our previous installments, and it has quickly retracted that.
It
Oh, yeah.
devolves. It
Yeah,
devolves.
Needed to disabuse me of that notion fairly quickly, so...
It snuck up on you.
Never assume that what I hand you is ever good quality
I
content.
never do.
The old Winnie the
There you
Pooh
go.
narrator is going to start having some stumble bums here, which is going to be grand. He had also played some other game about elder gods, but all he remembered from that one was Pargan, 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 Pargan.
Huh?
If you get the reference, you get it. And if so, leave it in the comments because I don't think any of us do.
True.
I'm going to get a ticket on the next one. All of the old ones had become addicted to something in their human forms. Dagon liked extreme sports, fishing. I can't believe that's a thing. Okay. Dagon liked extreme sports fishing and never went anywhere without his rod, tackle box, and a stupid hat with a superfluous amount of hooks on it. Hasta oddly became fudge nuggets.
I apologize because it's spreading.
You spread it.
I'm sorry. I swear I used protection.
Lies. Hasta oddly began to consume large amounts of chocolate and coffee products. Poor bastard probably had sugar and caffeine in him to keep entire cities full of people up and energized. Shub-Niggurath fell in love with human food. Whenever Thulu saw his grandmother in human form, she usually had her face in some sort of food container and was usually pregnant. Yog-Sothoth declared himself as the most metal thing ever and purchased a large amount of apparel and accessories featuring skulls. The gate and key of the universe sometimes proved to be more idiotic than his grandfather. Surprisingly, Idh-yaa took up botany, and was quite good at it, too. She specialized in growing various forms of kelp and seaweed. She then turned around and used her talents to use that kelp for the most unspeakable tortures, like listening to Michael's episodes. How unspeakable? More unspeakable than Haster.
Gasp.
I
Get
know
it,
who
girl.
that is.
Yeah, we just were introduced to him. He drinks coffee or something. Yeah. Duh.
I'm the bad guy.
References.
He sometimes pondered on how they all became addicted to such things, and eventually figured it was the fault of their human forms. He remembered his first week in his new body. In hindsight, he probably should have asked Gnarl about the functions of humans. Idh-yaa had bent down to pick something up, and Thulu was amazed on how human had the power to magically change the angle of the front of their pants. Idhi had given him the Kelp Therapy for the rest of the week.
Is he talking about getting a...
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Thank you for
Yeah.
fun.
But elder gods don't really get those, so
yeah, you can't get
Apparently.
you can't
But
get
the
a boner
magic-
with a tentacle.
yeah.
but the magic Viagra that she's whipping up.
I mean, when she bends down.
Yep, she's moving them sloppers.
Dang it.
This is a transition.
Which is actually written on the script. just so you
Yes,
know.
that's that actually is how I split up the scenes. So, yes,
Mm-hmm.
behind the curtain.
Split them like the 7 and the 10 pin.
Ooh.
When he opened the door to the suite, he felt something was off. When did this room share a conjoining door with the other room? He checked the room number, room 666, like it was supposed to be. He opened the door and saw that the other door was slightly ajar. He pushed it open and saw a bag lying on the bed, and heard the shower running in the bathroom. He noticed the bag was the same bag he had helped load onto a dolly not 15 minutes ago. The girl from before. He opened the bag wider and raised an eyebrow at the contents. It was filled with manga books and anime DVDs.
And a copy of Good Housekeeping.
He sorted through the various titles: Full Metal Panic, Needless, Infinite Stratos, Darker Than Black, Soul Eater, Dead Man Wonderland, Chrome Shelled Regios. He only recognized one title that he had seen, Gurren Lagann. It was pretty hype, he had to admit. When he noticed an odd pattern. Each title had at least one girl with silver hair, surprise, and a black dress on the cover. He tossed it back in the bag with little thought. The second one, however, Angel Beats, startled him. Sitting on the cover were two characters. A girl that looked exactly like the girl from before, which didn't bother him. He had heard about cosplay before. What bothered him
Oh no.
was the male character.
Oh no.
He looked exactly like Cthulhu. If Cthulhu was a ginger.
I'm triggered.
Oh, it's gonna get worse. Trust me.
Cthulhu's mind was boggled, So boggled he didn't notice that the water in the bathroom had stopped. That was until 2 small arms wrapped around him from behind.
Tulu-chan.
A voice whispered seductively in his ear.
Don't you know it's bad to invade a girl's privacy?
Ladies, privacy, please.
Oh,
Take them from one.
Don't you know it's bad to invade a lady's privacy?
If it's your privates, I'm staying far away from them.
Don't invade mine.
I ain't heard about that.
I don't know anything.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about no ladies' privacies.
How
Oh wait,
still
that's
just the same-
way worse than I. Oh, I meant private parts.
Not better.
Because I'm a virgin.
Did you schedule that surgery to get your foot out of your mouth, or is that just going to stay there permanently?
Doctor said there's nothing you can do.
I'm not shocked.
It's terminal.
Thulu whipped around and nearly fainted,
Yeah,
standing
sure did.
dripping wet in nothing but a towel was the girl from before. Water drops slid down her long legs, and the short, thin towel didn't leave much to imagine. The great old one tried to back out into his own room, stuttering apologies until he uncharacteristically tripped and fell on his ass. He tried to scoot back through the door.
I'm so sorry, miss.
He had made it past his door when she got on her knees and began crawling toward him, hunger in her golden eyes.
Tulu-chan, don't you recognize me?
She
No, I never got the pictures. I never received them. I didn't ask for them.
She purred. She was almost on top of him, hovering just over that place.
Michael, what the hell is this?
I will
Yeah.
say, because I was going to say this for the end, I did not know that it went this direction. All I knew was that it was a rom-com with
So,
Cthulhu.
so you didn't
Cthulhu.
know that a bunch of manga neckbeards?
No. Honestly, if I had known this when I
I'm a
originally
good-
wrote it.
I'm a good Satan man, and I don't read smut.
Someday
man.
they'll find it. The direction. The place where our fanfics go.
So we're paused on this real quick. So did you read the rest? Is it gonna go into
No, it's not explicit. If it was explicit, I would have immediately canceled it. It
That's a deal
doesn't
breaker
get
for me.
it doesn't get any
That's a
worse
deal
than
breaker.
this.
I can't go on.
I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry. The next one.
Okay.
Be the
why
most
don't you take it?
explicit smut.
Why don't you take it from your line? And it's Nyarl?
Yes. Tulu-chan, don't you recognize me?
She purred. She was almost on top of him, hovering just over that place. Damn human body and its urges. Did he know her from somewhere? Was she like him?
I only came 'cause you asked him.
It couldn't be.
Nyarl?
He was up against the wall now and was scrambling to get up. She nodded her head gleefully.
Ding ding, we have a winner. Do you like this mask? I look just like Kanade-chan, and you look just like Yuzuru-kun.
Food.
There's a whole debate about that.
Yeah, I didn't realize that you were into that Japanese shit.
Well, I was a giant tentacle beast after all.
Good to know she still had the Nyarlathotep-style sense of humor. He was standing now. She was too, and pinning him to the wall, tracing a heart shape over his chest with her finger.
I always liked the ones with the pairing. I always liked the ones with pairing involving white-haired girls. But Kanade was my favorite.
Why are you?
I was so glad when you invited me to Luchan. So very, very glad.
She raised her head and cupped her face in her hand. He noted that her hair smelled like cherries, and her lips looked so soft. And
even if you didn't mean to, which I highly doubt, knock before you enter a room.
he blinked in confusion. Nall was glaring up at him. Nall was glaring up at him, arms crossed. That's when he noticed the room's third occupant, Idh-yaa, who was staring at the pair with a raised eyebrow.
You think just 'cause you're the god of insanity, you can do whatever you please and get a free show?
That's wherever you please,
Oh,
which is
sorry,
infinitely more
whenever.
entertaining
Whatever you
as a
please.
sentence.
You want to
You
do it again?
Yes, yeah. You think just 'cause you're the god of insanity, you can do wherever you please and get a free show?
Sorry. Oh,
He sighed.
it's a living.
Sorry, Shane.
He sighed.
You better be.
She smacked his cheek and turned to Idh-yaa.
Your idiot boyfriend tried to peep on me in the shower.
And it didn't get any worse. Got John's kink show happening here.
Oh yeah,
Well, yeah, it's better for him.
Mhm.
better be.
She explained before stomping off to her room in a huff. That must have been it. He must have been imagining things due to exhaustion or insanity. And Nall had been chewing him out, not trying to do stuff with him.
Did he now?
Idh-yaa suddenly spoke up.
Guess I'll have to teach him a lesson in loyalty then.
She said darkly, her pink hair casting a shadow over her face. It was going to be a painful night.
Okay, but please, Eddie, not the kelp. Anything but the kelp. No, please, Diddy, not the kelp. Not the kelp.
And that, dear friends, like the salad you didn't order, is the end of the chapter.
Oh, jeez. I hate you, Michael. I hope you get 17 more speeding tickets.
I swear I did not know that this was what the fanfic would turn into.
I hope you get a beautiful new window and then it breaks immediately after getting it installed.
Michael wasn't out there slopper seeking, okay? I promise.
Michael, how am I supposed to explain to John's wife that I kelped him? You did this.
She tied me to a radiator and she helped me for decades and decades.
Just not the kelp, man.
It's, I went to kelp.com.
I'm fine with seaweed, but kelp is where I draw the line.
Well, of course, yeah. Seaweed is much better.
It's my favorite Beatles album, Kelp.
I need somebody. Kelp.
Not just
Don't put it in my body. Kelp.
Well, this is actually becoming more and more entertaining as we fumble our way through this like a freshman pulling at a panty girdle. Grand time for all involved parties. So thank you all for being here for the second installment in the maddening saga that is Crazy Stupid Insane Love. as performed by we, the Disinformed Podcast. As per usual, you will find us here every wonderful Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Mountain Time here on the Tubes of You. You can also find us on Fridays and Mondays, as I alluded to earlier. Please give us some feedback in the comments below. We would love to hear how much you love John Watkins saying the role of Carl Bertanen-Analuski. And give us your new and creative ideas on what to wrap in kelp.
Oh, we've got kelp.
Kelp for days.
Congratulations, you have kelped the audition. So
I'm throwing kelp.
Face, neck, and chest.
This show is not for kids.
Thank you.
but those sloppers are.
Oh no. Oh no.
Well,
Sorry, Mom.
believe-
Sorry, God.
that is going to bring it to a close, like the legs of every woman who has ever seen this podcast. Congratulations.
Oh my God, she admitted.
Big if true. Well, for this week's fabulous fan fiction, and we at the Disinformed Podcast, I am Shane.
I'm John.
I'm Michael.
And Courtney.
Kelp me, I've fallen and I can't get up.